the United States and Great Britain stood on the brink of war. Not over oil, not over territory, and not over a king's insult. They almost went to war because of a pig. This is the true, bizarre story of the Pig War, a conflict that involved over 2,000 armed soldiers, countless angry letters, and exactly 0 human casualties. All thanks to a single hungry pig. Our story takes place on San Juan Island, a small forested speck of land in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. After the Oregon Treaty in 1846, the border between the US and British North America, which is now Canada, was meant to follow what was called the middle of the channel, separating the mainland from Vancouver Island. But there was a problem. There were 2 main channels. The US claimed the Harrow Strait to the west, the British claimed the Rosario Strait to the east. And right between them sat San Juan Island, rich with timber and strategic importance. Both the Americans and the British wanted it. For years, the island was jointly occupied and it was a simmering pot of tension. And then came the unfortunate star of our show, the pig. An American settler named Lyman Cutler had a small farm. On June 15, 1859, he found a large pig rooting through his garden, snacking happily on his potatoes. This pig belonged to Charles Griffin, an Irish employee of the Hudson's Bay Company. He was managing a nearby British sheep farm. Well, Cutler, when he saw the pig, he had enough. He aimed his rifle and shot the pig dead. When Griffin demanded $100, which was a massive sum of money at the time, Cutler offered him $10, stating that the pig was a menace. When British authorities threatened to arrest Cutler, American settlers panicked and called for military protection. An overzealous US captain named George Pickett landed 66 heavily armed troops on San Juan Island. The local British governor, James Douglas, was furious. He ordered 3 warships carrying over 1,400 men to land and confront the Americans. Within weeks, there were 2,100 US soldiers facing off against 5 British warships and 1,000 Royal Marines. And this is where the story gets even stranger. Despite being armed and ready for battle, nobody wanted to fire the first shot. No one wanted to start a global war over a pig. Instead of fighting, the 2 sides established a strange kind of armed truce. Officers exchanged formal calls. Soldiers traded stories, they shared drinks, and even took part in sporting events. The 2 military camps were positioned so close that they could hear each other speak. But the order was firm from both sides: do not engage. When news reached Washington, D.C. and London, high-ranking officials were horrified that they almost came to war. President James Buchanan sent the highest-ranking General Winfield Scott to mediate. Scott negotiated a temporary solution. Both sides would withdraw the majority of their forces, leaving a small and friendly contingent of 100 men each. For the next 12 years, the American camp and the British camp coexisted peacefully on San Juan Island. It was a diplomatic success born out of military restraint. The boundary dispute was finally settled in 1872 by international arbitration, siding with the US. But the legacy of the Pig War remains a historical oddity. A perfect 5-minute example of how cool heads and good manners managed to avert a conflict that a single unfortunate pig nearly started. If you enjoyed this dive into the world's most polite near war, hit like and subscribe for more quick context in the 5-Minute Files.